The Six King Slam is an exhibition featuring Nadal, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Sinner, Medvedev, and Holger Rune. And I generally don't like exhibitions, but I have to be honest, I enjoyed the Labor Cup very much. I like the Netflix Slam, and I'm having a lot of fun watching the Six King Slam. And people often accuse the players who are participating in these exhibitions of just being there to collect the money and saving their body and not giving it their 100% best effort. But I can tell you from watching some of the matches at the Six King Slam, especially the Sinner Djokovic semifinal, which I'm going to talk about today, these guys were playing all out. And even looking at their body language throughout this match, these guys were playing for real. And there's a big difference between, for example, the Netflix Slam, where it was just Nadal and Alcaraz playing one match and they had guaranteed money. It probably didn't matter who won that match. But at the Six King Slam, you do get 1.5 million just to show up, but you do get $6 million if you end up winning the tournament. So think about how much money that is. $6 million for the winner, that's more than any Grand Slam tennis tournament in history. That's a lot of money. So you better believe that these guys are motivated to win. Now, Djokovic and Nadal did not play a first round, which was nice. They had a bye, which guaranteed, even if they lost in the semifinals, for them to play another match. So that made a lot of sense from the tournament organizers. And in the first round, Alcaraz and Sinner proved that they are at the top of the tennis world right now, both winning easily. Sinner only giving 3 games away against Medvedev, and Alcaraz beating Rune very easily. And I'm not going to comment on Nadal's match against Alcaraz, which ended up being 3-3 for Alcaraz for personal reasons. But I am going to talk about Sinner versus Djokovic. And if you watch my latest Monday morning rant, I made a facetious statement that Novak Djokovic is the future of tennis. And I was joking, of course, but I followed up that statement with something serious. And it is my belief that Novak Djokovic will not play tennis for much longer, maybe until the 2028 Olympics in the United States. However, in the immediate future, let's say 2025, it doesn't matter who Novak Djokovic plays in the entire tennis world except Sinner and Alcaraz, he is going to be the favorite. And even against Sinner and Alcaraz, he can still beat them, and he proved that in today's match against Sinner. Look, Sinner is playing unbelievable tennis, and there was a super interesting comment from Daniil Medvedev after he had lost to Sinner. And Daniil has an incredibly high tennis IQ. He's one of the best tennis tacticians that I've ever seen on the tennis court. And he said that he changed his mind. He thought that Alcaraz's top level was the best in the world. But now he believes that Sinner's top level is the best in the world. In fact, he said that he has never played against someone as good as Sinner. And it is interesting that Alcaraz is 3-0 against Sinner this year, and it is Sinner who had the more consistent season. And it's going to be so fun to see how this year ends up. But if Novak Djokovic decides to play the Paris Masters and the World Tour Finals, which he most likely will qualify for, he is going to be in the mix, because something happened in this match against Sinner that hasn't happened in a long time. If you watch my Monday morning rant, I showed a very interesting statistic, the fact that Djokovic has not had a single break point in the last 2 matches that he played against Sinner. In the Australian Open semifinal, a 4-set match, Djokovic had 0 breakpoint chances. In the Shanghai final, Djokovic had 0 breakpoint chances. And Djokovic was able to break Sinner twice in this match. So in the first set that only lasted 26 minutes, I thought that Djokovic played poorly. However, in the very first game of the second set, Novak Djokovic broke Sinner's serve, which he then gave away a few games later with a horrible service game where he made a lot of unforced errors. And the level of play from Djokovic wasn't anywhere near his top, of course, in the first set, but even in that second set. But Djokovic kept it tight, kept it close, and then turned it on in the second set tiebreak, which he had won 7-0. However, the level of play in the third set was simply spectacular. It is some of the best tennis that I've seen this year. Both Sinner and Djokovic played really well. And Djokovic had a chance to win this match. Despite this set going 6-4 for Sinner, this was a super tight set. Djokovic was up 3-2 and had 15-40 on Sinner's serve. Didn't have many chances on that first break point. Sinner hit a winner, but then on the second break point, Djokovic dumped an easy forehand into the net. Sinner ended up holding that game. It was 3-all, and Djokovic lost his serve, and now it was 4-3 with Sinner serving. And this game at 4-3 featured some really spectacular points and something very interesting from Sinner that I haven't seen before. So Novak Djokovic ends up breaking Sinner again after a spectacular break point, and Sinner motioned to throw the racket on the ground. This is how angry he was. So any of you guys that think these guys weren't playing for real, these guys were playing for real. I've never seen Sinner this angry. But Sinner, the baller that he is this year, even after losing his serve and being angry, he breaks Djokovic right back and holds serve like a boss and wins that third set 6-4. So Sinner's level is from another planet this year, there's no doubt about it. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that Novak Djokovic played a phenomenal match and came close to beating Sinner. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Djokovic can do something this year if he decides to play, but more importantly, how Novak Djokovic will play in 2025. It is my belief that Djokovic will be there fighting for the biggest titles. Now, there's a lot of people that say Novak Djokovic can play best of 3, but he's going to struggle in best of 5. I completely disagree. There's no evidence to suggest that Novak Djokovic has declined physically. Just watch this match against Sinner, see him running down all these drop shots that Sinner was hitting. Novak Djokovic is in absolutely amazing shape despite his age. So I don't think playing 5 sets is going to be any problem for Djokovic. And after all, he did make the Wimbledon final just a few months ago. Now again, I'm not going to comment on Nadal for personal reasons, but he is playing against Djokovic on Saturday for the 3rd place. And on Sunday, we're going to have the hopefully spectacular final between the best 2 players in the world, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. And let's hope that it's going to be another thriller like the one we saw in Beijing, where Carlos Alcaraz took the title.